The Malnad region is also called as Sahyadris and the land of hills. So the Malnad region, students, here you can see the pictures. The Malnad actually runs parallel to the coastline from the north to the south, and they have like a steepy like slopes in the west and gentle slope towards the east. So that's why they actually called as ghats here. They have a steep terrace. It's kind of a steep terrace slopes which is actually comes from the west to the east. That's why it's called as the ghats. So students, Malnad region, it's actually covered with a length of 650 kilometers and with a 50 to 76 kilometers in the width. So it has the length of 650 kilometers and which has the width of 50 to 76 kilometers. When we talk about the Karnataka map, the highest ranges which starts from the sea level, if I want to tell you, 900 to 1500 meters. It has the height of 900 to 1500 meters from the sea level. From the sea level it has 900 to 1500 meters, and this hill, they actually obstruct the rain bearing the winds which actually comes from the Arabian Sea and causes the heavy rains, often more than the 200 centimeters. This is in this you can see the place is completely evergreen because the rainfall here is normally a 200 centimeters rainfall. You can see some of the hills which we have here and the peaks which we have here. The highest peaks in this region are Mulayangiri, Kudremukha, Kalgatgiri, Rudragiri and Devaramanagudda. Students, here in this all peaks, one peak which is actually famous, which comes only in, these are the peaks which comes only in Chikmagaluru, but here the Mulayangiri is the highest peak of Karnataka. So all these peaks which actually comes in the Chikmagaluru, but the Mulayangiri is the famous peaks of Karnataka. Apart from that, we also have some of the other peaks in Malnad region, that's Ballarayan Durga, Marti Gudda, Pushpagiri and Kodachadri. These are the other peaks which we have in our Karnataka, as I said earlier. Among all this, Mulayangiri peak, 1913 meters it is actually, it's the highest peak in the state of our Karnataka. See, we also have some of the routes which passes from the eastern plains to the coastal plains. See here students, the image which is actually popping up. The routes which passes from the eastern plains of Karnataka to the coastal plains of Karnataka across the western ghats, we call that as mountain passes. Students, be attentive, this question is a very important for 1 mark. What do you mean by mountain passes? The route which passes from the eastern plains of Karnataka to the coastal plains of Karnataka in the western ghats. We call that as the mountain passes. So here we have some of the important mountain passes which we have it on our Karnataka. One is the Charmadi Ghat, which actually links Mangaluru and Chikmagaluru. We have a Shirdi Ghat which links from Hassan to Mangaluru. I mean from Sakleshpura of Hassan to Mangaluru. Agumbe Ghat which links from Shivamogga to Udupi, and Hulikal Ghat which actually links from Shivamogga to Kundapura. So these are the famous important passes which we have, and it is a very important question from your examination point of view also, students. Please do remember it. And since the Malnad region receives the heavy rainfall, it has attractive hill resorts covered with the beauty with the dense of evergreen forest, because it has the rainfall of 200 centimeters. And not only that, the Malnad region is a birthplace of many rivers which, when they pass down the steep slopes from the wonderful waterfalls which we have it in our Karnataka, students, the Joke Fall of Shravati river is the highest waterfall of India, and it is also the highest waterfall of Karnataka which we have. So we can see some of the other waterfalls which we have in our Karnataka. That is Unchalli, Magad, Gokak, Shivan Samudra and Abhi falls. These are the famous falls we have it in our Karnataka. The rivers have led to the formation of valleys in the gorges, and we can also see here some of the good crops which we can grow in the Malnad region. That's coffee, tea, rubber plantations, and the spices which we are actually growing abundantly on this slopes. These are the very costly crops which we can actually grow in the Malnad region, students. And since the coffee is widely grown in Chikmagaluru, Chikmagaluru is called as the land of coffee, because the coffee crop is more in that particular places. That's why it's called as the land of coffee. And Kodagu district is called as the Kashmir of Karnataka. Students, please do remember, these are the very important points from the examination point of view. Kodagu district is called as the Kashmir of Karnataka because of its cool weather. No other information. It's called as the Kashmir of Karnataka because of its cool weather. And Kodagu is also called as the land of oranges because the oranges are grown abundantly in Kodagu district. That's why it is called as the land of oranges. And the Malnad region is not only famous for the falls or the food or the peaks which we have. At present, Malnad has been identified as the biodiversity zone and protected. Hassan, Kodagu, Shivamogga and Chikmagaluru are the districts of Malnad region. So normally we studied about Malnad region, but you might be having a doubt, right? Which are the districts, which comes in the Malnad region? Simple, students. Hassan, Kodagu, Shivamogga and the Chikmagaluru, these are the famous districts which comes in the Malnad region, students. So we so far studied about the Malnad region, and in our next class we are going to study about the Maidan region. So before to that, I want you to read this concept, revise this and write the explanatory notes and send it through the Google Classroom app. If you have any doubts, reach out to me through the Google Classroom app. Till that, stay safe, stay home and keep your learning button on, students. Thank you so much. Allah.